A second case of monkeypox has been confirmed in Ireland in the last 24 hours. The HSE has said that public health teams are carrying out contact tracing for both cases. Cillian de Gascun is director of the National Virus Reference Laboratory, and he joins me now. In terms of the spread of the virus, the last time we heard contact tracing, it was a desperate breakneck speed attempt to get ahead of the spread of COVID.
Yeah.
Monkeypox, I get the sense, doesn't spread anything like as quickly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thankfully, it would be a virus that would be considered not to be terribly infectious. So you need typically quite prolonged close contact to acquire it. So the people that we would generally see, and again, a lot of this, I suppose, information will be coming from endemic regions. So Central Africa, Western Africa, where the virus typically hangs out. So what we typically see would be cases in people in household contacts and sexual contacts and in healthcare workers. So that prolonged close contact is where we typically see it.
So it's not particularly airborne, it is mostly in physical contact?
Mostly in physical contact, also by respiratory droplets. But what's interesting about this virus is that it's actually very durable and can survive for months in the environment. So one of the key things about monkeypox, in contrast to say some other viruses, is that actually things like clothing and bedding can become contaminated. Pox viruses are very robust and resilient, and I suppose the challenge, so the reason we were able to eradicate smallpox was because it doesn't have an animal reservoir. Humans were the natural host. So the challenge of monkeypox, obviously, is that it does have an animal reservoir, not monkeys as the name might suggest, but actually rodents such as squirrels and rats and mice, certain species of mice in Central Africa and West Africa. Now, primates, so the monkeys, can become infected. That's where the virus was first discovered or reported in 1958, and then the first human case was in 1970. So it's a virus that thankfully, so I think we're over 500 cases now globally as part of this current event, and thankfully all of the cases have been mild. Some people have been hospitalised, but nobody in intensive care, and no deaths reported to date as far as I know. So this current outbreak is probably not a cause for panic at this stage. It's certainly a cause for concern, because what we want to do is identify cases and break chains of transmission. And again, given the past 2 years that we've been through with COVID, we believe that breaking those chains of transmission for monkeypox should be more straightforward. So we're very much in a containment phase, so control and containment for monkeypox. I think what's also concerning, though, on a more global level in the longer term, is that we have seen, even in endemic regions in West Africa and Central Africa, that the number of cases of human monkeypox infection has increased quite significantly over the last 4 decades. So that is something that we would be worried about, because the more often we get these spillover events and humans get infected, the more opportunity that the virus has to I suppose, get used to us and adapt to us and perhaps become a more common human pathogen. And so the reason we believe that we've seen that increase in cases in endemic regions is partly because we have eliminated smallpox, and we've also stopped vaccinating against smallpox. So these are obviously related viruses. So smallpox actually probably would have been monkeypox, one of monkeypox's sort of main competitors, and the fact that smallpox was more transmissible, more infectious, meant that monkeypox didn't really get a look in simple terms. Obviously, we vaccinated, and we know that the smallpox vaccine probably provides about 85% protection against monkeypox. So what we're seeing now in endemic regions is those people who would have been born and grown up after the smallpox vaccination program was finished are starting to get infections now.